Yum, yum.
What's up, guys? Coming back with another video. And, well, again, I've done a lot of work without recording it. I got to moving on deleting the secondary air on the car. You guys probably saw it in the last video. And I just, I got excited. I got wound up and I said, hey, if we're taking that out, let's just clean this thing up a little bit. And I decided to go ahead and relocate the battery and relocate the fuse box. Let me tell you something. I looked at it and I thought, once you pull the battery out, you're like, oh, this is gonna go quick. I'll knock this out like in 30 minutes, maybe an hour. No, it's not that fast. Guys, let me just tell you this. I've been a mechanic in the field for over a decade now. I can tell you, this job is not, doing all this stuff is not that hard. As long as you know how to solder, do some clean wiring, then you can do this. This is not, it's not overly complicated. It's time consuming, guys. To do it right and do everything the way it needs to be done, it is time consuming. So when you dive off into this and you have to be at work in 3 hours or something stupid like that, don't think, oh, I'm just gonna knock this out real quick before I go to work. If you're gonna do it right, then take the time and do it right. Give yourself the time that you need to do it as professionally as possible. Electrical is one of those things that if you screw it up or if you half-ass it that day, it may be okay. But as time goes on, these things will come back to bite you guys. They will come back to bite you in the ass. And the bad thing about that is sometimes it's so far down the road, you don't even remember what the heck you did. Or even worse, somewhere in the car where you didn't properly do something, touches ground or touches another power and melts, a freaking ECU, which is not cheap, or burns up a wiring harness, which is not cheap, or even worse, the car catches on fire. And worse than that, the car catches on fire in your garage. And worse than that, your car catches on fire in a garage with animals in there. So, save the animals, guys. Don't do crappy wiring. You could really hurt somebody or yourself or your investments or your animals. So don't do it. Here's the bay. Right here. Obviously the battery went here. And then you've got your EPS module that bolted right here into these 4 bolts. And all that is gone now. So the battery is going to go to the trunk. And then the fuse box and all the wiring that come through here, all this stuff actually is now over here. So here on the side is the fuse box here. Took it off. This is the EPS module for your electronic power steering. And I've already cut, I've already spliced, I've already done all the repairing to the wiring. As far as this part of it goes, I still have not done the wiring for the battery relocation. That is what we're doing today, and I'm gonna try to record most of that. This here is your positive battery lead. So we're gonna clip this dude off here, and then we're gonna solder on the big battery wire, and it's gonna run back through this grommet here. And once that's done, I can do whatever I wanna do with all this stuff and try to make it as nice and tight and tidy as I can. Going through the firewall here, I had to extend some of the wires here for the EPS, which you can see that. That would be the ground. Grounded right there on which was already a factory ground. And all that was good. This went over here. This is good. The fender is big on this car. Obviously, you guys have seen that. The fender is big on this car, so it's going to go over all this stuff, no problem. And then I had to extend this wire here, which is for your wheel speed sensor for ABS. And then I also relocated my horn right here and extended this wire and bolted her in. So those are 2 wires you're going to have to extend there. And then the ones I would say that are the worst are the EPS. Ran it down through here. The EPS wires, you can see them way back in here. And that's where I extended them from here because they only reach to about here. And then they are ran all the way, it's kind of hard to see, on top of the power steering rack here. So there's a 2-wire main wire here. And then you've got the 3 little wire sensor over there. And you're going to have to extend both of those. I'm going to say probably, let's just say 3 foot just to be safe. A little longer is better because you don't want to keep cutting and splicing, cutting and splicing. Go a little longer with it and then test fit it and then trim back to kind of get the exact length that you guys need. So that's where I'm at with that. So far I'm pretty happy. Again, guys, it's not really hard. Oh, and also I have grounds here which I've taped everything up. I've tried to keep this as clean as possible. It's somewhere in this mess. Ground's here. That was originally bolted right here. And then all I did was made a jumper wire out of 8-gauge wire and went straight back to the factory ground. I want to make sure, you guys got to make sure that your grounds are hooked up in a good clean spot. If you can go back to that factory ground, that's even better. So get that good ground for sure. Any of those grounds need to be on the chassis on a good cleaned off spot, no paint, nothing like that. All right, guys. So basically, you're just going to take your factory plate here that came in your car, that was right up here on the front, is what I got here. This dude right here went in there like this. See that? Get out of the way. You like that? Unbolt it. Unbolt it. And I even I painted this one satin black because when I pulled it out, the whole bottom was kind of rusted and nasty looking. So I hit it with the wire brush and hit her with some black paint. It'll look a little cleaner in the trunk, but basically all you're gonna do is bolt it straight down to here. Just like that. With some different hardware or whatever, get some. Oh my God, that's loud. Another fine piece here. So I guess it's time to quit jacking around and get to work. We're gonna go ahead and cut this dude off here, and then probably just go ahead and let's run the wire first before I start doing all that. Go ahead and drill a hole in my grommet next to it, because there's no way I'm gonna squeeze that wire in with these wires. It's not happening. I already know that. So maybe drill a hole next to it, and then smash her on along with it. So yeah, we'll give that a try and see how that goes. All right, guys. So we have successfully breached the grommet, and the drill works pretty good. If you are looking at your harness from the other side, the harness wants to go to the driver's side on the inside of the car. So if you're going to run this, I would put your hole to the passenger side, just like I did, because it's pretty much wide open on that whole side of the grommet. That's why I wasn't afraid to use the drill, because off camera it didn't show me going inside the car, looking and double checking. If you're to the if you're to the passenger side of the harness, you're just straight on in. And if you're nervous about using a drill, like I said, I'm confident in myself. I had no issues here. You can use the blade that I had to kind of just give her a little slick, because it should just go right on through. And if you need a little more assistance, you can probably hit it with a little WD-40 and just like butter, sliding up in there. Don't get weird on me. And yeah, so we're in the car now. Open door, stay. And there she is. I already got the panels pulled out here. You guys pull this panel out, that panel out, and I still got to pull this thing out here. Am I even pointing at it? No, stupid camera. Backwards. This one here, got to take it out, and I will get it pulled back through the trunk. Monumental moment. I actually had to walk from here to my shop to get my freaking camera, because I left it here to charge, and I almost missed it. I literally went down to the gas station, came back, stopped, and whipped in so it wouldn't change. But you guys are about to celebrate a big moment for me. Look at this. What's that number say? Oh baby, it's about to go down. Here we go. Come on. Oh, come on. I know I'm close. I was riding too. There it is. Woo! 300K all day. You excited about the 300,000, Kruger? Yeah? Yeah, you like that? You don't give a crap. You don't care. Well, we're back in the shop again, getting back to business as usual. So, I soldered the big wire, the 2 gauge, what was it? 1 gauge? Yeah, 1 gauge wire to the main power wires on the car. We heat shrinked it, and then I like to wrap it in electrical tape too. Just added insurance, guys, added protection. Got everything kind of bundled up nice and neat. This is what it's looking like now. So, yeah, this is pretty sweet. Pretty sweet, guys. Look, and I mean, it gets everything out of that whole corner pretty well. They make an AC line relocation kit that's got the bendable lines, rubber hoses, and you can run it, I guess, pretty much the same way in the fender. I'm not exactly sure how it goes, but they're pretty dang expensive. I don't know, maybe a future mod or something like that. We got all those through there. Everything pulled through. I even, I took a little bit of wire loom here to kind of guard these from that. This is those things, those extra little steps you take to cover your butt, because this stuff can come back and haunt you. And you got to think about the long haul on this stuff. That way you don't get any surprises later on down the road. But I've got that done, and then I've already ran the wire through the car. You guys saw that. Here's all this stuff's back in. All you do is you run it through the firewall, like I said. You take this panel off, and this panel off. And there's one screw down here, way down here in the bottom. You got to take that screw out. And then you just pull up on the panel, give her some yanks, and she pops right out. Your wire will run right along the frame rail here, and pull your carpet up. And you'll see here, I'll show you real quick. This one's not hard to pull up. Pull your carpet up here, like this, and the wire will go right in this little galley in the carpet where it connects to the car, which is awesome. Because it doesn't even with this big ass wire I got on here, it doesn't even make it bulge up. It still looks like you can't even tell. Like you can't even tell nothing's there. So, sweet. And yeah, now we're back here. Come up on through there. If you can see, oh, my flashlight's dying. Aw, poop. Well, anyways, it comes through there, which I'll get another light so you guys can kind of see. And yeah. I've got this, the ground lead out, I'm kind of jacking with right now. And I pulled this panel back here. And I'm going to use this here as my ground. So I'm going to take this out, clean up the paint or whatever kind of like powder coating that's on here, just to be, you know, I want to make sure I'm getting a good solid ground there. We're going to put the bracket here into the back of the car. When you put this in here, you're going to have to set the bracket down and probably set your battery in there and measure, because this thing here comes down and it's going to hit your battery, and then you will not be able to close your trunk, or you will hit the power cable in here and short it out and start welding shit. So make sure you have clearance there for the battery cable, the battery, all that stuff. So my location on this is going to be right, let me see, like right here. And then I've got some 3/8 bolts, 3 of these, about this long here, if you guys need to see. I'd say it's like 2 inch, 1.5 inch, something like that. And then the appropriate drill bit. I'm going to drill a hole, 3 holes, 1, 2, 3. Alright guys, so we got the battery tray down into the car, bolted up good and tight. And then I've got the ground, the power. Got Maddie over here, my buddy Maddie. You guys seen him in the last, I think the last video, or the video before the last. Say hi, Maddie. Hi. We basically got the battery in, bolted down, the cables ran. Realized probably want some kind of protection on the positive battery cable, because if I throw something in the trunk, and it happens to be metal, and it hits up against the positive battery terminal, then you're welding stuff. So we definitely don't want that. So we went to O'Reilly's. We got some of these here, if you guys can see. It's little rubber boots that slide on for the positive and negative. Bad thing is, you've got to slide them onto the cable before you can put them on the post. So now Maddie's over here taking all this stuff back off so we can just redo what we already did. I'm going to hand him in this. Alright guys, and now that we got the power ran and the ground ran, all that stuff, it is safe to do some kind of like fusible link or some kind of breakaway if you do have any kind of short. So if you've got like a power that ends up touching ground here, Obviously you don't want the thing to start welding to the body or cause a fire or something. So I have here, it's a 150 amp circuit breaker. It's off, on, like this. You can get one of these off Amazon for like 20 bucks. And it's just got a line in, line out. I'm probably gonna mount it right here with some self-tappers. That way we got some added safety. And then also you've got the fuse in the fuse box too. But again, if it's all the way back here and something goes wrong, you kind of want it closer to the source. So yeah, so whenever you're doing all this, make sure that you do grab a circuit breaker. You could do a fuse like for like big stereo stuff, but the bad thing about that is if you blow a freaking fuse and you're out, you know, away from the house or something like that, and you don't have an extra one, you're just SOL. So this way, if you break the circuit with the circuit breaker, you can potentially, you know, just tape up or fix the bad spot wherever it is on the spot. You know, wrap something around it to keep it from touching ground, and then reset your fuse breaker to get you home, so that way later you can fix it properly. So yeah, don't forget that. So we got the battery in, the cable's connected, the strap down, and she is solid. She is not moving. And this is our sweet covers here now, looking all legit. Let me back up off this thing so you guys can see like the whole truck situation. Those cables running right through there, no problem. I had this other one kind of tucked. I gotta put my zip tie back on there like that so it looks nice and pretty. But that's it, guys, and that's all the factory stuff that's already in your car as far as like the battery tie down. So no need to buy anything other than like the little covers. Let me grab the keys. Let's turn it on and see what this thing does. Oh, we got lights. Got the lights. Oh yeah, we got power. Hell yeah, that's what's up. Everything looks good. Don't mind the maintenance, I know. I am almost due for an oil change. So there you go, guys. Fuse box is moved, relocated. The battery's relocated. We got all the harness done, tucked nice and pretty. Fuse box, electronic power steering module over here mounted, ready to rock. We extended all the wires nice and pretty. Everything looks great. No problems there. And then obviously the showpiece is going to be the battery in the trunk, looking OEM as F, well, as much as I can make it. Again, guys, that is using the factory battery mount that's in the car already. You just take out the bolts, re-bolt it down to the trunk. The same old battery strap I already had. I used that again. Actually, before I shut this baby down, remember we talked about the cabinet in the other video. My boy Maddie got the cabinets done. Looking sick, looking sick. It's pretty sweet. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. If you liked the video, hit that like button. If you want to see more, subscribe for more. More stuff coming with the S2000, guys. Stay posted. Thanks for watching.